Good afternoon. I'm here today with the award-winning author, Frank Zaaqan Jordan. So, Mr. Jordan, where are we today?
Today, actually, we're in Cancun, Mexico. And as you know, I'm a history fanatic, okay? And one of the things that is here is the Mayan civilization, the Mayan, the Inca, and the Aztec civilization. A lot of people don't know about the Mayan and the Inca civilization because, of course, they don't teach you this in school. You have the most of the people, the Mexicans that live down here, of course, in South America and throughout the Americas. But what they don't teach you is that we're all brothers and sisters. The Mexicans, the Panamanians, of course, the West Indians, Puerto Ricans, and Dominicans. We all sisters and brothers. According to history, we're all sisters and brothers. And we're going to just do this quick interview, and I'm going to just give you some nuggets, you know, for you to think on, like I always do.
Okay, well, judging by the look of these structures, something went on here. What's your take?
The Mayan civilization was from 7,000 BC to, I think, from maybe 2000 BC. I know that they was at their strongest point, probably it was maybe 900 CE, probably to like about 200 or 300 CE as well too. But when you look at these structures, and if you notice, you know, how they're built, you know, with the bricks, you would notice that, you know, it's the same way that the ancient Egyptian empire was built as well too. You know, structured pyramids, you know, layered in a fashion. But what you got to understand is that, you know, these pyramids were built in a fashion like that as tombs, as, you know, things that we held our treasures in as well too, and where we actually buried, okay, our ancestors at as well too. So the reason why they're ruined is because you had colonists like Christopher Columbus come here, late 1400s. Columbus explored the Americas, I would probably say, in the late 1800s. Columbus died in 1506. So I would probably say Columbus did his greatest explorations in the late 1400s. You know, he came over here to the Americas as well. He came over to Mexico. He came to Florida. He came to Texas as well too. He came to the islands, also the Caribbeans. But when Columbus came over here, the reason why a lot of these pyramids, which mounds are just ruins, okay, mounds are just another name for the ruins of the pyramids. The reason why they're tainted, and the reason why there are a lot of rocks missing off it, is because you know, you had the colonists when they came over here. They believed, okay, which was true, that there was a lot of gold, there was a lot of silver. We buried a lot of our ancestors, just like you know, the pharaohs of Egypt. We had a lot of our ancestors go in the tombs, and there's a lot of riches, there was a lot of diamonds, and they came over here and destroyed this place, just like they destroyed Napoleon Bonaparte. He came over to Egypt along with the other explorers, and they destroyed Egypt as well too.
Okay.
You notice in America, they got buildings that's here in America that's 200-300 years old, and they're still standing, you know, like they was brand new, you know, haven't been touched, you know. And just like you notice these mounds, they're torn down, they're tattered, they're beat up, just like the pyramids over in Egypt as well too. And I got news for you. The same people that was over in Egypt, the ones who built up the Egyptian empire, were the same people who came over here pre-Columbus, who built up, you know, and who built these pyramids over here in America as well too. And by the way, there's more pyramids that's over here in America. There's more pyramids that were built over in America because we spent more time, okay, Mexicans, Negroes, when we came in slavery, you know, the North American Indians, because we was over here pre-Columbus. So we had time to actually develop, you know, civilizations a little bit more, okay, and we had more time. That's the reason why when you look up, I think it's over 2,000 pyramids, okay, similar to this one, okay, that were built in America. And I think over in Egypt, I think it's only 118, okay, which the Kush Society, I think they have maybe 80. But here in America, scattered throughout America, you have over 2,000 pyramids, similar to this right here, okay, the same people that built the pyramids over in Egypt are the same people that built the pyramids over here in America.
So, Mr. Jordan, while we're wrapping it up, I have one last question. Why do you think this history isn't taught in the public schools?
Just like any other history, just like any kind of other great history that's not taught, you know, they don't want our kids, and they don't want our children rather, to know the greatness of their ability. If our kids knew that they were the engineers, I've always said we were engineers, okay? We were mathematicians, okay? We were astronomers. You know, it doesn't take, and again, like I always say, you know, when we came off the slave ships, there was no college waiting for us. There was no trade school waiting for us. We went straight from the ships. We went straight to work, okay? So it had to have been an advanced people that they were selling over here in slavery, just like there was an advanced people that was over here pre-Columbus during the time he came over here and stole the gold and the riches, okay, and destructed these mounds right here. And one of the reasons why, another reason why they actually don't want to teach this in school, because actually it'll bring you back, okay, not only to your history, okay, but it'll actually get you to actually understand more and more why we're needed in America and why we built this place from the bottom up. The colonists that came over here and the indentured servants, okay, that came over here, that was all the way over here from Scotland, okay, that came over here, the indentured servants, they came over here and they tilled the land, and they were promised after 7 years they would keep the land. Okay, the people that was over there in Denmark and the people that was over there in Scotland and Norway, which were Caucasians, nobody went through the turmoil and the toil, okay, that we went through as a people. Nobody. Okay, we were hung, we were lynched, we were forced to come over here. They weren't. They came over here on ships called the Mayflower. Look, let me say this too. When Columbus came over here, and he was actually commissioned, okay, by Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand, the 3 ships that he came over here with actually came over here actually with 6 ships, okay, but they only named 3. They named the Pinta, the Maria, and the Santa Maria. Okay, the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. Okay, those are the 3 ships that they named. Those were the 3 main ships, okay, that carried back the Indians, the Arawaks, the North American Indians, okay, the Incas, that came back over, okay, as slaves, okay. No, Maria. Those are actually the 3 main ships that actually brought the slaves back over to Spain, to Queen Elizabeth, Queen Isabella, and King Ferdinand. You know, just like the so-called Europeans, just like they came over here from Southwest Africa during the time of the King Dahomean Empire. Okay, and they sold us over here to the Americas as well too. This place, listen, this place wasn't constructed. This is simple. Okay, this place wasn't constructed until the slaves came over here and blueprinted this place. Our brothers and sisters, okay, the Incas and the Mayas, okay, the Issacharites, according to the Bible and according to history, they were already over here, and they had this great civilization way before we came over here. Okay, so when you had the so-called Negroes, okay, and the people that was on the islands, and when we came over here to America, we basically just helped them build a place that already existed for the Europeans. Okay, and what you see today, the people that you see out here now, you know, the elites, like, you know, you have the Rothschild family, you had the Kennedys, you had the Vanderbilts, okay, you have the DuPonts, you have the Bilderbergs, people like that, okay, the Hiltons, people like that, they are actually living off of the same old slave money, okay, that our forefathers helped build this country and built this society, okay. There are more banks headquartered in the South. You got Bank of America, which is headquartered in Charlotte. I think BB&T is still headquartered, I think it's either West Virginia or Virginia. You have more banks, okay, and this is a nugget. You got more banks that are headquartered in the South, okay, in Americas, more so than any place else. The other places like Chase, those are just commercialized banks, okay, that are brothers to people like Wells Fargo, people like Bank of America, okay, because why? Because the slave money, the money that the slaves were making, they had to put that money someplace. They had to bank it and they had to put it someplace. And the slaves, okay, and the banks, they still exist, okay, to this day. When you go back and do the history on these banks, and when you go back and do the history on these clothing stores like Tiffany and Brooks Brothers, and clothes stores like Brooks Brothers, Tiffany's was founded, okay, the store Tiffany's was founded okay, off of slave labor. You had slaves that was in the field, okay, that was actually picking the cotton, okay, to build the clothing, okay, for Tiffany and Company. That's how they started. The same thing as the Brooks Brothers as well too. You had slaves that was actually picking cotton and actually making the suits for Brooks Brothers as well too, along with most of these commercial companies and a lot of these clothing stores and retail stores out here across America.
Wow. Okay. So that's my time. Mr. Jordan, I want to thank you for that great interview.
Hey, all praises to the Most High, and thank you. It's a little hot out here. I'm sweating a little bit. It's a little hot out here.
Imagine holding this camera.
Hey, but it's, hey, listen, it's always a pleasure educating our people. Thank you. All praises to the Most High. Water. Thank you, sis.
No problem.